Hello, everybody. Welcome back to All Things Parks. This is our Mother's Day special, and because it is Mother's Day, we decided to invite our lovely, beautiful mother, Marilyn, to join us. And so I am here again with my sister, Erica.
Hello.
What we are going to be talking about today is a couple of our favorite memories that we had from the parks when we would go with our mom, and then also some of her favorite memories that she had when she was graced with our presence at the park. And then she's also going to give you some tips, if you have young kids at the parks, if you have teenagers at the parks, what are some good ideas as far as what those kids are going to like doing and what she saw that we enjoyed doing when we were at the park. So, Erica, you want to start us off with what your favorite memory is?
Yes. Well, first I would like to thank our mother for taking us every single year to Disney World.
Yeah, it all started here.
Because she sparked what we do, basically. So my favorite memory is my mother likes her park time. She really enjoys her park time, so if you're not there at rope drop, you're late.
That is true.
So I really enjoyed getting up early, going to the parks, not eating much. But my all-time favorite memory is we were at Magic Kingdom, my father's favorite ride of all times, the Haunted Mansion. So he had to get his Haunted Mansion shirt for that trip. And on our way out of Magic Kingdom, we stopped at Casey's for a hot dog. And eating, leave Casey's, get on the monorail over to Epcot, because typically that's where we go.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, my father is like, "Where is my bag with my shirt?"
Oh, you got it. Someone
left
it.
Someone left their shirt
it.
at Casey's. So my mother sent him back to Casey's to try and find his shirt. And we were like, "There's no way it's going to be there. It's the middle of summer, complete, like full to capacity Magic Kingdom."
Yeah, someone's already wearing that thing.
Yeah. Someone turned it in.
It's Disney magic.
It is Disney magic.
Disney magic.
Someone's looking out.
Yeah, so he came back to meet us all at Epcot with shirt and bag, and to this day I'm like, "You rebought that shirt, didn't you?" But he's yet to confess to that.
That would have been smart if you would have rebought it. I don't know.
And not told us.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still think that's what happened.
I think
don't know.
someone actually really turned it in. There are very good people that go to Disney World, and they value their souvenirs, and they know how everyone else feels about it.
You're right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you
think
save up all that money to go there.
It's the happiest place on earth, and you're happy to help out somebody.
That's right.
When they're in a bind. So.
Yeah. I mean, you do get into that kind of aura of things where, it's definitely a lot of, you're kind of taken in with all the magic, where you get there, and especially if you take the Magical Express, you don't see any of the outside world pretty much. And so you're really kind of thrust into this atmosphere where everything kind of just works out for you, especially even if you have like a bad day, then something is going to happen later on that's going to turn it all around. So there is that aura and that magical feeling towards it things do work out.
You're for sure transported into a completely different world, taken away from reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So moving on then. So what my favorite memory with my mother at Disney World is, it is when we started to first go there, and it was when we hadn't really seen all of the shows or been on all of the attractions or rides yet, and so we used to go all the time in July, August area, and if anyone's not aware of what Florida is like in July or August, go sit in a sauna for about 10 minutes and you'll get a pretty good idea of what it's looking like. So it wasn't too late in the day, maybe like 10:30, 11 a.m. It was getting, it was getting close to high noon. But
felt like high noon.
A couple different.
I know.
Well, so we go into the Beauty and the Beast show at what was then MGM Studios. And we get there a little late, so all of the seats that are underneath the awning in the shade happen to be taken. And so there's a little spot in the bleachers all the way in the back that just happens to have 5 seats open. And why not sit there right in the direct sunlight? About 5 minutes go through the rendition of, I think we're still in the middle of the Belle song. And me and my dad just have pools of sweat sitting underneath us.
There was a pond. I think Donald came to swim in it for a minute.
Yeah, there was a lot of perspiration going on that day, and we tried to fight it out for about 10 minutes, and then we were just like, can we please
they were nice about it.
And I don't think to this day you've ever seen the show. Have you seen it?
I've not seen the show in its entirety, but I did get to see the end portion of it at another trip. Undercover.
Well, that's all you need.
Undercover. I saw the beginning in the sun and the end undercover. So,
all right, there you go.
It took me a couple trips, but I did see the whole thing.
Well, at least you finally got to see it.
Yes.
Because I would have felt bad taking that away from
that. They humor me. Sometimes you wonder if the trip is for me or my kids.
All right. So, now that you've heard our favorite memories, what are some of your favorite memories that you've had with us? Going to the parks. Yeah, it's been really exciting. Like they said, we've gone so many years. We try and go every single year, and we pretty much have since the year 2000. So it's different. The experiences have changed as the kids have grown. So, early on it was, of course, a lot based with getting autographs and, meeting characters. And then, we progressed to, enjoying the food and the tastes of all the restaurants, especially Epcot, of course. So it really has progressed. And each stage has got its own exciting aspects to it. And it's very exciting for me that my kids enjoy it as much as I do. So it's, we keep going back because we know we're going to have a fabulous time every time we go. So, we all take part in the planning and, so we always think of new research and find new things to do every trip. We always try and do a new restaurant each time. So it's really, really nice. Makes it like a new experience. But one of my favorite memories with Erica was one of the first, actually I think it was our first trip, 2000, her first trip there. That was, she was real into the Winnie the Pooh characters at that time.
She brought my visor for today.
Yes. I still have that, by the way.
I haven't done
that.
But we did a character breakfast at Artist Point in Wilderness Lodge with all the Winnie the Pooh characters. And it wasn't very crowded, which was really nice. So the characters spent a ton of time with the kids. And one of my favorite memories from that, though, is when we were leaving, Tigger came and took Erica by the hand and walked her out of the restaurant. And at the by the hostess area, there was a little bench, padded bench that people could sit on. So he had her climb up on the bench, and the two of them hopped together. So Erica was hopping with Tigger, and that was one of my
I remember that. I still remember that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then there was cute Eeyore took an adorable picture with you.
Yeah, I remember those.
His
we were
ears
bouncing,
and his.
Though. I remember me and Tigger bouncing like rebels on the booth.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was one of my favorite memories from when Erica was very young.
I think I remember after that we went golfing because I had that same outfit on. I remember the outfit.
We might have done the golfing right after that.
The pink overalls. Yes. It got so hot I took my undershirt off and just wore the pink overalls.
Yeah. That was
and the Pooh visor, obviously. Pooh visor.
That's hillbilly.
Gotta protect yourself from that Florida sun. That's
shoulder class on the golf course.
Yeah. And then Andrew, a lot of our good memories with Andrew revolve around a couple things. One, especially our food experiences. Starting from way back when Andrew's favorite thing to do would be to get his big turkey leg.
You gotta get those turkey legs.
Yeah, he felt like a king holding that big turkey leg, and
still do.
We'd always get it in at the USA Pavilion, and he'd finish it within a couple countries, and he'd get every single piece on there. Yeah. And he was so proud. He was so proud of himself and his big turkey leg. So that was cute. And then now, of course, as we, now that they're older and they can sit through all the nice restaurants, I think one of his biggest feats was the triple dinner at Wilderness Lodge. Lodge. He even impressed the waiter there. So the all you can eat, it's not the buffet, but the all you can eat.
Oh yeah, all you care to eat. Barbecue.
Barbecue, yeah. So it was definitely at least 3 portions worth.
Mm-hmm.
So
funny you have your hat coming back.
Yeah, it's all about
for Wilderness there.
Yeah, so that's always fun. Andrew's our big go-to guy. He always knows. He's got all the research in his head. He's got a good memory. He remembers. All the cut-throughs and all the parks. And
well, he didn't remember me bouncing a Tigger, so.
Well, that's
he was probably
to what I need to know.
Yeah. So, and then he knows the whole layout of all the roads around. It's very impressive. We're always, sometimes the bus will take a different route and we'll be like, where are we going? And he'll be like, oh, we're on the back road. We're going to come out, past the golf course. And he's got a very good memory. So that's why he remembers all his fun trips to Disney World.
There's many to remember.
Yes, there are. Yes. Oh, and then the other thing is Andrew's always good for a good photo on the rides, like the cute one of you guys. Yeah.
Now they put the watermark across, so you can't even see it.
You can't see it as good.
But
he's taken some really good ones between Rock and Roller Coaster. The cutest one, the latest one was from the Halloween party. You guys on Buzz Lightyear this time, so we always look forward to that. And his dinosaur photos; those are always good. Because he always remembers right where that camera spot's going to be, and he's got it planned. So, yeah.
All right. Awesome. So, thanks for sharing, Mom.
I would like to say, I think it's cool how she sees how we grow and how there's still always something
to do
for any age to do in Disney. So,
right. Which, we still do a lot of the things that we did when we were kids, but now we can do even more things, and especially, like you said, enjoying the food and drink offerings and enjoying the restaurants, the little bit more, upper class restaurants that we can go to and not be bored because there's nothing to do there. We all enjoy trying different meals and sampling the different drinks and things like that. It is nice to be able to still enjoy the same attractions we always used to enjoy, but then keep adding different experiences that come about that, we can enjoy along with that.
Right.
So as kind of a segue from that, growing up, starting as kids when we were there to now adults, some people might see that there's not a lot for adults to do, that there's not a lot for kids to do. So what do you suggest that families, with little kids or with teens would do when they go to the park? So obviously, like I said, now that we're older, we do like to sample the different restaurants. We like to go, especially for food and wine, and taste all the different dishes from the different countries, sample all the drinks. But say you have little kids with you who aren't, old enough to sample in those alcoholic beverages and kind of really appreciate the dining that is offered on property. What would you do with smaller children when you do go to the parks?
Yeah. Well, I think for sure the character experiences are great. And they have, I think even from when you guys were little, they've made a lot nicer ways to do that with doing fast passes for some of the character meet and greets is really helpful because we used to, wait in long lines and then you'd be like third person in line and the character would leave and you'd be crushed.
Right.
So I think the way they do the meet and greets, they have improved that quite a bit. There's still some, some, especially around Epcot, there's some that are very impromptu that, are still kind of, you take a chance if you're not in line close enough, you may not meet the character, but I think they've made a lot of efforts that way. And the character dining is so fun, and it's a great, it's a great opportunity for the child to spend more time with the character because they do a very nice job of being attentive.
They make sure they get to each table and spend a good amount of time.
Yes. And you get your autograph. You take as many photos as you want. They're very, they're very good about that. So I think that's one of the really fun things for the kids. You have your autograph book, or we had the Pluto that they would autograph. I still have that too to this day.
And it probably allows the child to sit at the table longer so that the adults can also get a meal in as well.
Yeah, because the characters are going to be walking around and they're going to be so awed to see those characters in person is so up close that they're going to be, sitting there swiveling around just waiting for those characters to come up. So, and that's nice too because not all the character dining is in the park, so you don't have to have park tickets to enjoy some of that opportunities. And so, kind of getting into the park. So let's break down the 4 different parks.
Let's first ask Mom, where would be the best character dining? What would be the best place to take your kids to for a character dining experience?
Well, I think
there's so many of them.
We always did it as our tradition was that first night we would arrive, we would always do Chef Mickey's because that was, you'd see your main characters. You see Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Chip and Dale.
All in their chef attire.
All in their chef attire, but then you'd see them and you wouldn't have to feel like pressure the rest of the trip to be sure, oh my gosh, we got to be sure we see Mickey.
Yeah, right. You check that off the list.
So that was a really, and it was a nice night to do it because you weren't having to leave the park to do it. And, they have a very good it's a...
Yeah, because don't be wasting your park time outside of the parks.
They don't leave the park to eat.
No, that's my opinion.
No, but too, that
but
menu really suits children well, because it's your typical kind of
Mickey Mouse mac and
Americana
cheese.
type.
Yeah, so
I always love that, and I remember always loving the ice cream bar with those mint meltaways.
Yes.
That was a favorite memory as well.
Yeah. So that I think is a good way. That was always a good way for us to start out our trip.
And they do breakfast too, so you could do either way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So either you do it the first night you arrive, or you could do breakfast the day you're going to leave, and that kind of is a really special time. We always enjoyed that. So I think that was a great great way to start it out. And then again, when you were young, you have to pay attention to height requirements on rides. Mm-hmm. I think they do a nice job with their child swap on some of the rides, because it does get, it is a little tricky when you've got, like when you boys were a little older and Erica was still a little younger, there were certain things she wasn't tall enough for, or, was afraid to do, so this way, Dad and I didn't have to really miss out either.
Right. So and you don't have to wait separately in line.
Yes.
You can still all wait together in line and just swap out.
So take advantage of those child swap opportunities that you can find. It's very helpful. Yeah, it's very helpful for the flow of the day.
Obviously jumping into the parks with that then. So let's go ahead now and break down each park as far as, what are some good things for if you have younger kids. Maybe if you have those teenagers, something that we can do with them. And that way really give people an idea that, show them that if they didn't think that there was something for that age range, that we can kind of show them that there are, things for pretty much any age at every park. So let's go ahead. We'll just start.
Let's start with Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, we'll start from early and then work our way towards the most recent opening. So we'll start with Magic Kingdom. So what would you say if I'm traveling and I have, kids from maybe 1 to 5, somewhere in that range? What do you recommend for that?
Well, of course, you got to do Buzz Lightyear, because that's really fun for, I think, maybe obviously not 1, but the 4 and 5-year-olds for sure.
4, 5, 6,
because it's very interactive. They can feel like they're earning points, but they're just being able to play like an arcade game basically. So that was always a really fun ride. The Fantasyland rides, of course, are great, and that area is so nice now with the it's more spread out, and they've got the addition of the extra Dumbo. And didn't you just
experience the extra Dumbo with a very young child?
Yes, we did. Yes, so that's awesome to have the 2 Dumbos, and they have that little interactive place if you don't want to wait in line. Walking in line, you can.
Or the
it's like
they
a little
give you
play
the
area
sensor where you kind of check in for the line, and that way you can go to the play area, and then it pays you just like you would kind of at a restaurant when it's your time to ride.
Yeah, so that's got to be very helpful, because those, that line can get a little long, but it was not bad at all with the 2 Dumbos. I think that's made a big difference. And just spreading out the park is, helps spreading out Fantasyland, because it's always so crowded.
Right.
So,
and it's kind of a cut through in the back of the park, so even if people aren't there spending time, they're cutting through to get over to, Liberty Square, wherever they're going.
Yeah. So, I would say, Fantasyland and Buzz Lightyear would be, the most exciting parts
for that age.
Ones.
Without a doubt. All right, so let's move on to the other age range, maybe somewhere in that, that we'll say 10 to 15, 16 range.
Yeah, then you're getting into the thrill rides more. So you got Space Mountain there, and Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain's always a good one for that.
I would think for sure Tomorrowland. It just comes to mind, especially because I remember when I was a tween, the Alien was where Stitch was, and that was very spooky. But a guy my age would probably enjoy that thrill more than I
but
did.
it's not there anymore.
I know, but I'm just meaning they still have Stitch's Greatest Hits, which is similar. But I'm just meaning that. Right.
But I would say, for that age, the thrill rides are definitely where it's at. And, at least for me, I still like Buzz Lightyear, because it is, anytime you're building points and kind of able to compete against yourself and the person that you're sitting next to on a ride-to-ride basis, it's a lot of fun. And so those rides are always a winner in that age group, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, backtracking, because I forgot about this for the little kids, because this was not there when you were little, is the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Oh, yes.
It's got to be a phenomenal experience for those little
You got deep pockets.
Yeah. You got to reach deep,
Yeah, and then the pirate experience in Pirates of the Caribbean. So that's a nice way to make it, more interactive, where the, it's not just going through a ride. The child actually feels part of the experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, obviously, I feel like Magic Kingdom is definitely, because they have such a wide array of attractions and rides, that it really is impossible for anyone to find something that they're not going to enjoy.
Right.
Yeah, so there's something for everyone to do without a doubt.
The parades, for sure, are pretty spectacular. The fireworks show are phenomenal. So
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to Epcot then. So take the monorail ride over there, and let's hear, kind of same thing, same age group. We'll extend it out a little bit. So let's go from like 1 to 7. What in Epcot are we doing?
Okay. I mean, there's definitely more to do in the Future World area, especially the the Seas Pavilion, and Figment is cute too for that age.
Yeah, it is.
So, but the Seas is awesome with Figment. That was like on my honeymoon. That was like really cute. Even on my honeymoon, I thought Figment was so adorable. But anyway, the Seas Pavilion with the Turtle Talk with Crush it's really cute how they do that, and then just being able to see the live fish swimming in the aquarium, and the Nemo ride is cute, riding in the little seashell, so I think that's probably the highlight there. Although they, if you really seek it out, it's a different way to experience the countries with young kids. But they do a nice thing with the KidCot where they've got, just the little coloring area where you can go from country to country, and it, changes different years what exactly the picture is of. But you can go to each country, color something, and a cast member will stamp stamp it, and then you make a little, what'd you call that? Like a little baton of all the countries. So it makes a nice keepsake, and it just gets the kids kind of involved in the country, where they're not going to necessarily be that excited about, they're not going to understand the scenery so much, but they will understand that.
So I know. As a kid, you guys always let me collect the penny press from every country. So it was always fun for me, because I would get to find where the penny press was in the pavilion, and then make my own penny press. So that was a really cool way that they got me to start appreciating the different cultures and things.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that they do that, where they sort of make it hidden, because that adds to the, that adds to the mystery of it. It makes it that much more exciting when first you have to look around, and maybe as you're looking around, you'll, absorb or appreciate a little bit of the, the.
Just had to make sure they had scenery. Shiny pennies with them.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at those dull ones.
Yeah. And then they also have that. Now it's not Kim Possible, but who is it now? They do
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb. That is good for that age too.
Right. And again, like you said, that's a great way to get kids kind of involved in the World Showcase, because most of the time there's not a whole lot. Now that they have the Frozen Ever After, obviously helps with the kids ride. The Grand Fiesta is good for kids as far as attractions, but after that, that's the first 2 countries on the one side, Mexico and Norway. There's really not a whole lot for kids to really enjoy.
I do think actually the Italian Pavilion with some of their daytime shows, they do a good time of getting the kids interacting with the different performers, jugglers, and things.
Yeah, same with that France too.
Right. Yeah. So I would think that would kind of help this with the smaller kids.
And then there's a lot of character meet and greets throughout the countries, which helps as well. So you have Belle, Mulan, Jasmine, Aladdin. You have
Snow White.
Yep, Snow White, Alice in Wonderland,
Mary Poppins,
A Sleeping Beauty. So there are a lot of meet and greets as far as
Short.
Yeah, you can meet Marty Short. Yeah. I love going to see Marty.
We didn't appreciate him until we were maybe the tweens.
I don't think too many 5-year-olds are going to be looking for Marty Short.
Maybe the started to like his hockey skills.
I don't even think the tweens now know who Martin Short is. But,
no.
But I think something else, and we did it, you were a little older then, but I think even younger, they had all the ear hats from all the different countries, because when you and Matt were old enough to enjoy the alcoholic beverages, Erica still wasn't. So you and your father were enjoying that, and Eric and I turned it into, instead of taking a picture with the drink of the country, Eric and I were taking a picture in the ear hats of each country.
Since then.
So, and that can be for smaller kids. That can be for smaller kids too. Then, you're late teens at that point, but still, that would be fun for the kids because some of those hats are really cute.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so that's a cute thing to do. And then you can practice, learn a couple words from each country too.
Mm-hmm.
I really like interacting with all the cast members.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we'll move on to the next age group then. So your tweens and early to late teens. Obviously, the one thing is taking those photos around the world with maybe a certain piece of merchandise, like you said.
Yeah.
Otherwise, kind of talk through the more adult rides that those kids would then be able to jump on.
Yeah. Well, of course, Soarin', but that even for the early, like the preteens is good too. But Soarin' for that teenage era. Test track, of course, which that queue line's really cool now, where you make up your car.
Yeah, your own car.
Right. Yeah, and then you're racing against other people in your car to see who performs best. It makes it different each time. And then Mission Space, which I started out as a in the extreme category, and I've backtracked to the to the easy rider. But it's nice they offer that.
Right, exactly. It is nice that they do.
But that is a fabulous ride for that age group.
It's a really cool experience.
Yeah. So those are, I would say, the highlights for sure.
All right.
And the rides there.
Perfect.
Shall we take the boat to Hollywood Studios?
I think we should.
Oh, that's
two
good.
Down, two down, two to go.
All right.
Let's keep on moving. All right. So Hollywood Studios, obviously. The park is in a lot of construction
right now.
But there are still things to do. Don't cross it off your list just yet. There are still a lot. Exactly. I think
you could probably sit and sweat during the Beauty and the Beast show because that's still there.
You could easily do that, especially now.
Especially from now through September.
Right. So I think Hollywood Studios is helping it is that some of its attractions are some of the better attractions on property. Right. So that really helps make a tough decision for people that if they're only going to the parks in a few days. They still want to visit Hollywood Studios with that hopper because they do have some great attractions there. So
and some great shows.
Little kids, same thing. 0-7 Hollywood Studios, and let's hear it.
Okay. Little Mermaid show. That was one of our go-tos. And that was
that's gone.
I know, but I'm saying that was back in our day.
Okay.
So I still think Toy Story Mania is fun for any age. I mean, even the little kids sitting on your lap, they can pull that little thing, and they think they're going to be getting points, whether they are or not, it doesn't matter. They're going to have fun the whole ride through the.
And seeing the characters that they're familiar with.
Yeah, and that queue line is awesome.
Right.
That's really
it shrinks you down to toy size.
Yeah. So I think that's good for every age.
And I think that whole area is going to become great for that age with the Slinky roller coaster and things coming. So that's probably a new possibility.
Yeah, there's a lot to come
kids,
for that age group.
Correct.
Which, maybe there's not a whole lot for them right now, but give it 2 years, supposedly 2019. We'll see.
I think it's good that they added that they have the character dining at Hollywood and Vine now. So that's helpful for the young
characters
kids.
are there?
They have Minnie, I know, and Daisy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm not sure who else, but Minnie and Daisy, and they're dressed in their Hollywood outfits, kind of like. And I think they had something because I don't have young kids anymore, so I don't pay as much of attention. But I think they have a lot of special things there. I think they had a flower and garden kind of thing.
Okay.
A special, where they were dressed more in maybe like Easter bonnet kind of thing, something like that.
Okay.
So.
I always remember we always liked as kids going to sci-fi.
Yeah, sci-fi driving is really fun. Yeah, that's a really fun,
unique
that's a good
experience,
for kids too.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then also, if your kids are Star Wars fans, they have all the Jedi training and stuff like that, which is really cool and interactive. Where they can kind of pick out their lightsaber and kind of all that fun stuff as far as
it's even fun as an adult to watch that going on because they do it out in front of Star Tours, so it's cool to see the little kids that get so excited.
Yeah, that's cute. And I remember, one of this, they don't have them anymore, but when we first went there, they had the Ninja Turtles in the back, and that was a big draw.
Oh yeah,
you guys got all their autographs.
Yeah, everybody loves the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that was a big draw. That was a lot of fun for you guys at that time. So, and that's where they have, or back by the old backlot tours where they had Sorcerer Becky.
Yeah.
For autographs. So that's where he shows up. Yeah. So I think that's the majority for the kids. The shows are great. I mean, they would enjoy the show if they stay up for it. It's nice they have the two Fantasmics, so they have the early show. Some time of the year they have a second show, certain times of the year.
Yeah.
So, and back in the day, another one of my favorite memories was watching Reflections of Earth and then running to the bus and getting over to Hollywood for the second show, or taking the boat and getting in for the second Fantasmic. Yeah.
As I mentioned, thank you for all of the sleepless nights at Disney World.
Well, but
you
for
gotta
all
stay up
you gotta experience it all.
You didn't become
This is how we know everything we know.
That's right. All those memories combined.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So what about for the older kids then at Hollywood Studios?
Well, of course, there's Rock and Roller Coaster. There's Tower of Terror and Toy Story Mania. Everybody loves. You're so great with knowing all the tricks too. That was the other thing I meant to mention. When you know all the tricks, so you actually had the high. This is going back to the other park, but the high score.
And if you guys couldn't tell, he's obviously the favorite child because she just keeps to have all these memories.
No, it's just because I can get the high score.
That's right. He got the high score.
She was a cheerleader. She likes the athletes.
But anyway, so that's a lot of fun. I think you can, then you can bring in the competitive edge. You can race against your brother or race against your father and see who can get the high score on Toy Story Mania.
Yeah. Or you can work together to unlock certain things, and when your partner doesn't work as well as you'd hope they do, then you can really let them have it.
No, that's not in the...
Like in the queue line for Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think, they've got some nice thrill rides there with Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror.
And maybe, I think we experienced maybe like another person usually with us, maybe a sibling that wasn't as big of a Disney fan. Not that that's bad, but he still found between Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster, he had so much fun between those. Because they were more thrill rides that he liked better.
But the most fun he ever had was at 50's Primetime Cafe.
I mean,
which we have yet to this day eat there.
Which I'm not upset about. Let's get serious.
We tried. We really
He just didn't like being mothered down to. Is that how you would say that?
Yeah. Speaking of Mother's Day, that was two mothers.
Yeah.
Two mothers at once.
It was two mothers too many for Matthew.
He should be glad that that's not his mother, and I am.
Yeah.
He was just mad because she wouldn't bring him a pop. I think that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. I believe that's why. That set him over the edge.
So we left. To get him a pop at Sci-Fi.
Yeah. So... Yeah, and now we'll be anxious to see what's to come in the new lands.
Yeah,
right,
Star Wars Land looks like it's going to be amazing, and Toy Story Land, I'm sure will be a lot of fun.
Exciting things coming.
Yeah. And now that we're older, we can enjoy, a couple of the bars that the Brown Derby has that outside bar now, and then Primetime has a bar.
That bar is really cool.
The Primetime bars, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of like retro TVs and they're playing really old TV sitcoms.
So those are nice really things, middle of the day. If you don't, if you have dining reservations and you don't really have enough time to leave a park to go all the way back to the hotel, you can kind of sit and relax at one of the bars.
In air conditioning.
And when all the rides are really crowded because it's middle of the day. It's a good way to relax and regroup, instead of having to go all the way back to your hotel to kind of get a little break. But the shows are fantastic there too. So Fantasmic is a great show, and I have yet to see all the new shows. The Star Wars show or the Jingle Jam show on the theater, but they look amazing from what I've seen of them. And I mean, way back when we first went, they didn't have the hat, so their nighttime show was along Hollywood Boulevard there with the theater as the backdrop. Yeah. But there weren't projections on the theater at that time. It was all fireworks, but that was, an amazing setting. So I'm sure those are really good.
Yeah, I'd say so. All right, so let's go ahead. Last park, we'll take the bus over. First time on the bus. Animal Kingdom. So there's a lot, obviously, here as well for kids to do. And so let's start off again, same age bracket, 0 to 7. What are we doing?
Yeah, well, I think you got to hit, Dinosaur Land with all the, Triceratops spin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of little rides over there.
That's a little too.
Yeah, Dinosaur's a little too extreme for the really young.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of those little rides over in Dinosaur Land there.
Yeah. You take a toddler on Dinosaur, you're gonna find
they're
some
not
Duke
gonna
in
make
a
it.
diaper at the end of that ride.
They're literally not going to make
they're
it.
not gonna make it at all.
Yeah.
But I might enjoy Dr. Maj.
Yeah, Dr. Seek will have one.
Well, if they're like you guys, though, you were troopers. Although you weren't there as a really young child,
right.
but
I was a
from
trooper.
about four, you were there.
I had to sit through Alien.
Yeah,
I didn't even like Alien.
Alien scared me.
Yeah, I was.
Sometimes you got to take one for the siblings.
I didn't have a choice. I did what the boys did.
Yeah, really both ways. The boys had to sit through, some princess things for you, and you had to sit through some kind of
it's a give and take.
daring things.
It's give and take
so,
out there. You gotta know
that's what makes the family.
Right.
You gotta do it for your other family members.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, so that's they would enjoy for sure. The Lion King shows really, colorful and fun.
It's tough to be a bug.
Yeah, it's tough to be a bug is good. And then the Nemo show. I think it's a little long for really young kids, but I think, they do like the giant puppetry of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think, too, probably that age, getting closer to the 7, would be Rafiki's Planet Watch with the petting zoo, so we can interact with the animals.
Say. Yeah, exactly. And all of the animal treks that you can walk through. So
right,
you have
to see things they've never seen.
Right, exactly. You have the Maharaja Jungle Trek. You have the Pangani forests that you can walk through and see the gorillas. And
even Discovery Island.
Right, exactly. I was going to say all the paths around the Tree of Life that have different animal interactions that you can really see a large array of animals that you're not going to see either at a zoo or in your hometown, obviously. So it is nice to be able to walk around there and show the kids different animals and really get them excited about wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they have the meet and greet, breakfast there and dinners. Right, there's a dinner one there at
Tusker House.
Yeah. So I think the breakfast ones are nice. They do that at all the parks. You can get in early, to go to the breakfast.
Right.
Which is nice with the young kids because most of them are up early, and then you get to your breakfast. You could still get to a lot of the rides early before the park gets really crowded.
Right.
So take advantage of that, I would say, the early entrance for the restaurant.
All right, good tip.
All righty, and now our preteens and teens.
Yeah, well, they'll like
tweens.
Most everything else.
One day.
Everest, of course, Dinosaur, of course. I mean, I think everybody enjoys safari, even those ages. They have to be really amazed to be that close to, a live animal like that. The drivers, such as yourself, put a little humor into it, so that's nice.
We tried.
Yeah, so I think those are highlights for Animal Kingdom. And now, of course, they've got the new nighttime show and Pandora opening.
Coming. Yeah.
So, those will be new to me for my next trip there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Those rides look like, those will be great for that age, too.
Right.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, perfect. So we've covered, things that go on in the parks as far as those ages. So I know you'd spoken a little bit as far as the character dining outside of the parks for, some of the younger kids, but what are some of the things outside of the parks? Say you have a day off and you need to keep those kids occupied.
Some activity.
What can we do to pass the time and not kill ourselves in the hotel room and just not be sitting at the pool all day?
Yeah. Although the pools are very nice.
Well, right, especially coming into the summer, you kind of don't want to be leaving the pool.
Yeah. Well, of course, the water parks are really nice. Those, we spend a lot of hours at the water parks.
Yes.
We'd always take a day each trip and do a water park day because it was a good break. Good, so you're not sweating at the park all day. You're in the water. So those were great. Do
you have a preference on water park by chance?
Yeah. Well, I think we preferred Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of slides at Blizzard Beach and Summit Plummets there, which was awesome. Thank God I did that.
I can't believe I did
once
that.
in my life. But I think for young kids that they're, it's harder at Blizzard Beach because a lot of the slides they're too young for.
Mhm.
So the wave pool is a little gentler there, which is better for the young kids.
Yeah, right.
But
That wave pool at Typhoon.
The wave pool at Typhoon Lagoon is awesome, but very intense, scary with young kids because you feel like you're going to lose them under the water, or they're going to get bumped into.
I'm sad they took away the coral reef though.
Yeah, me too.
That was a really unique attraction.
Yeah, that was.
Andrew growing up always loved sharks, so that was really cool for him to be able to do that. And the water was so cold, finally.
Yeah, but it felt good. I mean, when it's 100 degrees out, you get.
I know
you
had to you had to take it easy into it. Like you had to stay on the step and get used to it.
Yeah.
Get me in there.
Yeah, but it's nice they have the family raft rides.
Yeah, right. Now they have the new one, also the Misfortune Falls that they just put in there.
Yeah.
And they have those water coasters, which is cool now too for some of the older kids at the water park.
Yes.
So and I also feel like at the water park, more so than at the other parks, you kind of let your kids go on their own a little bit more because as the parents, it's like, all right, I'll go hang out
here
in the lazy river, or I'll
Mhm.
meet you here in an hour. You can go on your slides. That's what's nice being a little bit older. Whereas at the parks, we never really split up. But in the water parks, we would kind of do our own thing because, some of us wanted to relax. Some of us kind of wanted to go out and do some of the attractions that they had there.
Yeah.
I always got so excited because I would get the kids' meal. I was the only one who could still get a kids' meal, so I would get a bucket and shovel with my kids' meal.
And play in the sand.
Yeah, and they had the grilled cheese on the Mickey-shaped pretzel. That was really good. That was the only place you could get it. I think I was a kid for a day that day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the water parks are great. Obviously, especially in the summer, they're always, they do have their closures in the winter, but it's usually a little cool anyway to be at a water park. During like December, January, February. So, the mini golf is great.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a couple different ones of those. So there's the one over by the boardwalk, the Fantasia Gardens, and then there's Winterland, Summerland at Blizzard Beach. So you don't have to go, to get an admission to Blizzard Beach to go to it. So that's nice. So you can take advantage of those. And then, one thing we always did, and we always enjoyed it, was we would go to visit the other resorts that we weren't staying at.
Resort hop.
Yeah, we would resort hop. We maybe go have a quick service lunch at one of them and walk around the grounds. You could at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you could see parts of the savannah.
Yep.
At the boardwalk, you could take part in any fun things going on there, or
get some ice cream.
Get some ice cream, exactly. Go as a family, enjoy it, see if you can finish the kitchen sink before it melts. That's always fun.
Well, you boys always liked ESPN Zone too.
ESPN Zone, yeah. So it was a good way for us to see the other hotels, which now we've stayed at most of them, but at that time, we were just kind of feeling them out, checking them out. It's nice to see all the different theming.
Yeah.
And check out their pools. Some of the pools are amazing, how they've laid them out. And Wilderness Lodge has the geyser that goes off every once in a while, and you can at any time go see the movies on property. Even if you're not staying at that resort, they all show movies in the evening.
Yeah, they all have a lot of activities too at the pools, mostly for where they'll bring different cast members in to put some activities together at the pools to bring kids.
Yes.
Doing things and
food contest or trivia contest
or charades or whatever it is, and so there's definitely a lot going on, where it might seem like, okay, well, we have the parks and we have the water parks, and then what else is there? But there's so much stuff going on.
And then we would always check out all the gift shops at each hotel too, because sometimes you could find really different things and themed to that, aura of that, to the theme of that resort.
Yeah, and some of the resorts too will then at night have bonfires where you can do s'mores and roast some mallows. So I know Fort Wilderness has it. Does Wilderness Lodge do it?
I'm pretty sure,
And then Animal Kingdom.
Polynesian.
On the beach. And Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, and it's also
even
really
Coronado
cool.
was doing that.
Oh, that's
Last time we were there, they did it also.
It's a cool perspective, too, to go to different resorts for nighttime shows, wishes, taking the kids on the beach at the Polynesian or up at the Contemporary. So, just different places to take them, because obviously kids will get excited over fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you're not at the resort, the other thing, of course, is now Disney Springs, which has tons of different dining options. You've got Splitsville there for bowling. You've got the theater there. Yeah. So if it's a rainy day, you can go see a movie or a bowl.
Yeah.
So those are great options. They've got the T-Rex restaurant, which is really interactive for the kids. Mm-hmm. The Lego store where they can spend time building with the Legos. Yeah. So there's always a lot to do. The Christmas store.
Yeah, and then they got the big Bippity Boppity boutique there.
Yes,
as well.
Right. Yeah,
and the flights, the
character and flight.
Yes, which we haven't done yet, but yeah, they have that too. So and then those new cars that they do by the boathouse. Nice. Yeah. That that go on the water. So yeah, and it's neat too to explore then the different transportation ways to get around. Like you don't always have to take a bus. Like we would take the boat from French Quarter to Disney Springs. Same thing from Saratoga to Disney Springs. Take the monorail around the monorail resort. So there's a lot of neat things to do.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you coming on, sharing some of
your
knowledge with
us.
Thanks
for making so many memories with me.
Shared so much knowledge with us growing up. Now you can share some knowledge with some of our followers. And so, definitely thanks for stopping in and checking out our podcast today for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
We will be, back on a weekly basis, giving you more material. Hopefully you found some of the material today useful when you're planning your next trip, as far as, depending on what age kids that you have, making different arrangements to make sure you see certain things. And comment below anything that you enjoyed about the podcast, comment about anything that you'd like to see in upcoming podcasts. Definitely, you can put that in the information down low. And, other than that, do you have anything else to add, either of you, before we close out?
Goodbye.
No. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Thanks for joining.